Okay, so I've started recording after I've already started trading. Reason, in fact, it's a long time out from post now. But in this situation, Cheltenham coverage starts really early. Gets really hyped up. You can see how full the markets are already. You can already see the kind of stakes chucking around there. And the reason I can get away with doing this is Cheltenham is a scalper's dream, really, dream come true. So the markets are very different at Cheltenham to the rest of the year. They're arguably like it at other big meetings. Cheltenham's probably one of the biggest ones of the year. Now you can see them thousands and thousands of pounds stacked on either side of the book. So different to a normal kind of race, you can actually trust it when there's thousands and thousands of pounds stacked on either side of the book. Mainly at Cheltenham. Obviously there's always that element of possible manipulation and people messing around with things, but at Cheltenham the money is genuine a lot of the time. The markets, pretty much can't be manipulated because of the sheer volume going through the market. So earlier on, 25 minutes before the start, coverage will be starting in a second, I would have thought. I've already got myself some nice early queue positions on some big stakes, and providing there isn't sort of some whopping great 50 grand bets and stuff like that going on, it should be fairly safe environment for me to be behaving like this. Obviously I wouldn't get away with this on sort of like a Monday afternoon race at Kempton or something stupid like that. So I'm just getting early in the queue, and it is quite boring, and the adverts probably are on now as well. Obviously I recorded the audio for this afterwards, but the adverts are probably still on. There's probably not a lot of coverage going on, but I'm there, I'm early in the queue, and people are betting anyway. You will see the volume pick up massively, and that'll be when it's easier to get some of these stakes through. What I would say is if you're scalping Cheltenham, start off slowly throughout the week, and once you find your feet, as it were, then up your stakes, but don't do it before. So this is one of the Cheltenham races of the week, and you can see that lay stakes actually getting filled a lot quicker than the back stake, which I'm very aware of at this point in time. However, I am aware that back stake's fairly near the front of the queue, and I'm pretty much all of the price left on that as well. So I've got to be careful, but I think that's probably safe enough to be in this position at this point in time. Now, don't want to make sure. Well, that has happened there. Been a little bit slow to react. Could have clicked a little bit earlier there on that one, but obviously hindsight's a great thing. But at this point, I'm not particularly worried that that's not going to get filled. And obviously, you can see I've lined up some more back stakes there in the anticipation that this does come up. I'm already going to be in a good position. I'm going to need to either scratch as I go. Here we go. I'm actually reducing the amount underneath because my bank's not actually big enough to be laying it for them sort of sums in this instance. So another thing to be aware of at Cheltenham, you start playing bigger stakes, be careful, because you can get yourself so exposed with using the whole of your bank, that then it makes it harder to get your money moved about in the market and actually get out of them positions. So again, looking at this now, liquidity is even picking up a little bit now, 20 minutes out, so I'd assume there'd probably be some sort of coverage or build up for this. It's obviously one of the bigger races. Nice little stake goes through there, but in my opinion, quite literally, you can teach a monkey to scalp Cheltenham and make some money. It's just a case of having the nerve to do it, and also being able to manage your position accordingly. The whole time of this, I'm hovering over there. You can see I'm just waiting for, if a big stake comes in, then I want to scratch or get on the right side, or vice versa. It's about being very quick scalping, but Cheltenham is like almost a slow motion situation if you're scalping, especially with 100 quid, 200 quid, and it can be a little bit boring, but it's easier money. So I mean, that's a good result there already. 50 quid. I mean, 20 minutes before the start. And Cheltenham it's hard to say. These big events, sometimes it can go either way. You can get to post time and have made a couple hundred quid, or easily, if you get caught on one of them stakes the wrong side for a tick or two, you can lose it just as quick. But if you build into it, you're more or less always going to come out on top. I'll let this play out a little bit, because obviously this is going to be quite a longer video and you don't want to hear me waffling for the whole time, but you can see a lot of the time from where my cursor is, and where I've got the stakes stacked in the market and how big the queues are of money, So you can see that 500 is taken there, but we've got 5 grand left on the backside, so I'm now in a comfortable position where I can put my exit in. I didn't want to put my exit in too soon, because if I put my exit in too soon it might get taken before my entry was. So it's a really comfortable position to be sat in there, and obviously that's another nice tick for like 10 or something like that. Just sitting out in the extremities, in the good queue positions, and making the most of it. That's where it really comes to play. You will see closer to post time as well, this fill rate is going to pick up rapidly, and like I say, every race is very different, so you can't try and treat them the same or treat them like a normal job. You know, you work for 5 minutes, you make 50 quid or whatever. There have been instances in Cheltenham before now where I've made more or less all my profit in the last 2 or 3 minutes, with the fill rate going crazy and just plugging money on either side of the book. You can just see across all the different runners, such huge volume. So I'd also say, if you're just a part-time trader, it's a good week of the year to book off of work. One for the learning experience, and twice for the extra cash you'll get. The whole time I'm just trying to manage where I am in that queue. So I mean, that looks like a big stake, like 10 quid a tick there, and it is a big stake, but what I'd really like to see now is maybe a bit more of that lay money get taken. Obviously the other thing to be aware of at Cheltenham is you can back for more than you can lay with your bank because of the odds. So in this situation it's a little bit tricky. I'd love to get that 1500 quid laid. Oh, that was a big spike that went in there. I'd love to get that 1500 quid laid, but I can't because my bank's not big enough, whereas I can have a lot more money stacked on the backside. Now that's arguably someone's either going to have a big bet there, or they've just managed to push that up someone considerably bigger than me. You can tell from the size of the bank, but I'm not too worried. I mean, I'm the majority of the money on the backside of the book there, but this market's going to be fairly solid, so it's a bit of a shame to lose some green like that, but that's the nature of the trading. But I'm now in a good position where I can make it back because I'm early in the queues on the backside of the book, and I'm not expecting the market to run away for 10 ticks at this sort of price, especially in somewhere like Cheltenham. It may move a bit, but not massively. So I'm really sort of trying to go for it now with some of these stakes, stacking it up. But you sort of have to do it to make the big money. It's kind of reverted back now, and that's why I've cancelled that back money as well. I don't want to sort of scare anyone into going against the grain for what I'm doing. Sort of pointing up with the cursor there, trying to tease it to go up. I mean, you could argue I made a little bit of a poorer judgment. Well, I've just been a bit slow to act, really, to be honest, at times so far. See that support on the favourite coming in there. The favourite's come in a few ticks, so possibly that's what having this or helping this reaction for it go back out. Straight away drops down to about 1,500 quid in the back box. So I'm sort of teetering on the edge of hitting back. Yeah, there I have. But that's not a problem, because now that 760, it's just done, all I've done is made it quite safe. There's that 760s at the bottom of the queue. I know at 5.7, so I can now top this up. Now in hindsight, it's a shame, because it probably would have been a good thing to actually wait on it, but rather be safe than sorry a lot of the time in instances. And I mean, everybody makes mistakes in every single market they trade, myself included, so there's no point beating yourself up about it. Once again another chunk. It's quite frustrating to watch now, actually. Hopefully having the early queue positions will help us. It's just a shame as well, depending on the stakes you're playing, if you've not got a big enough bank to have more lay orders scattered about in the market as well. Bit of a lag on it in the market there, so I just bit of a spike went in on the favourite there, so I could see that was going to cause a little bit of cross-matching anarchy amongst the market, and that's probably why I just cancelled my stake so quickly. That's 16 grand, so at 5.5. It's been sat there quite a while now. Which can be a bit of a pain with things like Cheltenham, because scratch that. Because when there's such a big lump in the market, if the market is heading towards that lump, you can be stuck in a position whereby you can't actually get your exit filled for a long time. And I don't doubt that will get swallowed up if it stays at this price, but it may take a little bit of time, especially with 11 minutes left. In the last couple of minutes, stuff like that can get swallowed quite quickly. You can see now the fill rate. If you look in the column where the stakes are being dropped in, as it were, and it's flashing white, you can see that there's so much more money being turned over so quickly now. It's starting to eat. That 16 grand's already turned into 13, and arguably more money's being added to it the whole time as well. So I'm just sitting there thinking I might want to back a chunk of this. I want to back the last chunk of this if this disappears quickly and the favourite starts to drift, even for a tick or two. Just being aware of it. 5-6 are probably a very good call there, actually. And if that manages to get taken,